This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
I'm jazzed.
Yeah, what about?
The No Doubt reunion.
Oh, I saw that at Coachella.
They
right?
announced the Coachella lineup.
Uh-huh.
I think they list 6,000 bands on it.
Yeah,
and I recognized 8 of them. One of them was No Doubt.
I looked at that poster and I went like, all right, well, I guess music's done with for me. I don't recognize any of these. And now I think there are bands on here that are throwbacks. I don't even recognize them.
Yeah, I just looked at it for 5 minutes, slack-jawed, just scratching my head like an idiot.
Yeah, I thought it was, at first I was like, oh, it's just one of those fake ones people make up sometimes, just full of made up bands. Nah, all real bands.
And they have, there's 3 days, right? And they, of peace, love, and music, right?
Is it 3 days or it's multiple weekends, something like that?
It's 3 days, 2 weekends in a row. So it's the same
6
lineup.
days.
But it's the same lineup.
Oh, okay.
So it's April 12th, 13th, and 14th, and then April 19th, 20th, and 21st. And the Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows are all the same. So they list the headliners for each day.
Uh-huh.
And then
I like that, by the way. Before the show started, I mentioned to you, hey, I want to promote my new podcast too. And you're like, ugh. And now you're promoting Coachella.
I'm not promoting. I'm talking about No Doubt.
You're listing the dates when tickets are available.
Blur is playing.
Oh, okay. I know Blur.
But they list, so I'm trying to explain things to you, and you're pushing back. I mean, it's not 3 days, it's 6 days. No, it's technically 6 days, but the bill is only 3 days. Right.
Yeah, it's not 2 different weekends with different lineups.
Right.
Which they have done in the past,
No.
maybe?
No.
I'm just thinking of other things.
You're just wrong.
I'm just thinking
you can just be wrong and it's okay.
I'm just thinking of 2 entirely different festivals having different lineups.
Probably. It might have been you thought something
now,
and
this
you were
is
wrong
Lollapalooza?
and it's okay.
Why'd they change the name from Lollapalooza?
But they have the headliner and then the rest of the lineup for Friday.
Yeah, it looks like an eyeglass chart.
Yeah.
Like a reading chart. It gets smaller and smaller.
And the same thing for Saturday and then Sunday. And then at the end it just says, and No Doubt.
Yeah.
But there's no day or anything associated.
Maybe it's not the band. Maybe they're just saying No Doubt.
That would be
And No Doubt. And then in smaller, it says you're going to have a good time.
No doubt you're going to have a good time. But they can't guarantee that either, Tom. What if somebody goes to the desert and has a bad trip?
That's true. That happens a lot in the desert.
Yeah, especially at these music festivals.
Yeah.
All these wackadoos out there
the
doing all that.
brown acid going around.
Yeah.
And people take it, even though they say don't take the brown acid.
You can take it now.
Oh, they made it good
It's
now?
fine now, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, brown... I was going to say brown drugs in general, but I guess brown liquor is pretty good. I like brown liquor.
Yeah.
If it's brown, drink it down. If it's clear,
you're in the clear.
don't stay near. So are you going to Coachella?
No, I don't think so. Do you think No Doubt is going to do a tour? Are you a No Doubt fan?
No more than the next guy, I guess. I like him, okay. But I'm not a super fan. I was not. Are you a super fan? I was not aware that you're a big No Doubt fan.
No.
Okay, yeah.
But I've been listening to a lot of No Doubt since they've made this announcement.
Oh yeah,
they got some good I'm experiencing No Doubt essentially for the first time.
Yeah. I mean, they started out as a ska band.
I was excited when Tragic Kingdom came out because I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of lame. But at least they're smuggling ska into the mainstream. That's cool.
Look, it's not as cool as the Gap ad for khakis where they're dancing a jump, jive, and wail, but
that was
all
the
right.
swing revival, and I hate that it got conflated with third wave ska.
Same shit, more or less.
Why? Because it's got horns?
Yeah, exactly. It's got horns.
Yeah,
How much other
so,
fucking popular like rock music has horns?
The Blues Brothers played with horns.
That's true. And if
when Neil Young toured as Neil Young and the Blue Notes and did This Notes for You, the Blue Notes had horns.
Wow. He toured with the Blues Brothers.
Yeah. Aerosmith had horns at some point in that Falling in Love is so hard on the knees.
I don't think I know that song.
It was later Aerosmith.
Oh, okay. A Honkin' on Bobo era?
Honkin' on Bobo era, and probably that Gap commercial where he's playing the
playing the
harmonica,
going. He's playing the harmonica. You mean he's honking on the Bobo?
Is that what honking on Bobo is?
I don't know.
See, you said it so confidently.
It seems like honking on Bobo is blowing on a harmonica, right?
I mean,
but it could be
Aerosmith. It's probably some filthy double entendre.
I mean, it could be jacking off.
No, come on, man.
What?
It's
Honking
in the first
on Bobo?
5 minutes of this episode. You're gonna use that talk?
Look, we're throwing.
My parents listen to the first 5 minutes of this show.
We're throwing out honking on Bobo like it's nothing. We don't even know what it means. It could mean something much worse.
What could it mean?
You don't want me to say what I think it could mean.
On Bobo. Meaning.
It means an album by Aerosmith.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been listening to a lot of No Doubt, and what my verdict, Tom?
Yeah.
Pretty good band.
Yeah.
Then I started listening to some of the Gwen Stefani solo stuff. Mm-hmm. Not as good.
Yeah. Well, she went more pop,
Yeah. Some of her features, though, like, the song with Eve. She did a couple songs with Eve.
Yeah.
She was on that Moby song that was actually good.
Oh, yeah. Here we are now going to the
Now, do you think Coachella, right?
Yeah.
Full of basic people wanting throwback stuff.
Yeah, that they're going to play some of those.
Do you think Gwen Stefani's like, hey, we got to play that Moby song? And do you think Tony Kanal, bass player of
No Doubt,
will be like, I'm not playing that.
And former lover.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you know Don't Speak was about him?
Yeah, and the man's got to play bass to it.
Yeah.
It's rough.
My man plays the bass to it.
Rough stuff. I don't... maybe I could see them doing that for big hits if like any of the people in the band like the song, but I could also, they have enough songs that they don't have to do that,
Right.
And like she tours on her own, maybe not super recently, but
does she tour with her husband Blake Shelton and the two of them sing like, and we're getting in our pickup truck?
I don't think so. I feel like I could be wrong. I thought she had like a residency in Vegas within the past few years. But I'm just saying she has enough of her own hits that I'm sure she plays No Doubt songs in her solo shows, but I'd be surprised if she played solo songs with No Doubt.
Right.
But
what I'm saying is, do you think the Coachella audience would demand it? Like, they leave after the first weekend, and they're like, they did not play Holla Back Girl.
You're right.
I'm furious. And then the No Doubt has to come together real quick and be like, we got to get like a marching band out here to play Holla Back Girl.
I mean, that'd be cool, but I don't think that, because if you're going for No Doubt, if you say like, oh, they didn't play this song, it's like Gwen Stefani, you're showing yourself as a poser.
But that's okay, because Coachella is for posers, Tom. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? It's not
nobody. It's a real poser's choice here, I guess, of what they do. Do you try and impress the posers? Do you do what the posers want to hear, even though they're posers? Or?
I think so. I think the whole reason they're doing this is to be crowd pleasing and for the money, probably.
Right. Also the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely see this being like a launch board into a No Doubt reunion tour to get all that sweet money.
Yeah. I watched, they made a video announcing this, and for a band that's getting like millions of dollars to do this, right? Like they're being
they take care of them, and probably a free lunch and dinner.
Yeah, no, the catering bag. They have those catering trays with I'm sure there's
so
like chicken
it's all
fingers.
you can eat.
Yeah.
They probably would turn the other way if Gwen Stefani was like, I'm gonna take a plate home for Blake Shelton. They probably be like, hey, I didn't see it.
She's gonna scoop out some like pasta and marinara sauce and then put it on a paper plate and put another paper plate on top of it and maybe get a rubber band
wrap around it. Yeah.
Be like, Blake, don't worry, don't.
Yeah, you don't have to order takeout tonight. I'm gonna bring some home from the backstage of Coachella.
I'll be frying up a steak on the grill.
Is that the way? Yeah, I guess he's a country guy. So
he's a country boy.
Yeah, but I'm always confused because of Carl Urban.
Because you think he would be...
He's Australian.
Right, you're thinking Keith Urban.
Keith Urban. Carl Urban's the actor. Who's also, I think, a Kiwi, maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's a whole
It's all
other...
so confusing.
That's a whole other confusing thing.
Anyway, the announcement video.
Yeah.
They filmed over Zoom. And it's like...
Cool. So they're neck deep in rehearsing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this thing is 4 months away. It's fine. But also, like, it's just like you realize, oh, this is just for like people like either pushing 50 or in their 50s.
Yeah.
Bands should never try to be funny. They were trying to do shtick, but it was also like, just make a poster. You don't have to have them like. It depressed me. It was just like, oh, these people just want money. They just want my money, and you know what? It's working. They have a new fan.
Yeah. I mean, they've made upwards of 1 or 2 pennies from you streaming all of this music of theirs.
Anyway, No Doubt, guys, look them up. They're on all the streaming services.
Also, look up my new podcast.
Were you serious? You wanted to?
I wanted to plug it again.
Okay.
Not 10 minutes into the goddamn show again, and it happened again. Because you were so busy plugging No Doubt.
I'm talking about how I had a spiritual awakening, a musical awakening.
Oh, I didn't know it was that serious.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I take it back then.
My life has changed.
Want to hear something weird's the name of the new podcast. Check it out. Check it out on the internet. That's where you can find it.
Do you want to go back and re-record?
No, I don't want to go back in. It's too late now. It's ruined.
Do you want to record a pre-roll ad for it?
No, I don't want it, Tim, because that's
Tom has another podcast.
Classless.
Does it with Lori, doesn't do it with me.
Yeah.
And he wants to use
Which
this
some
platform.
people were upset about. Some people were like, "Oh, I guess this is the end of the road for Tim." I think
now, would you classify? Did that doesn't really necessarily mean they were upset about it. They were just observing.
It was just like, well, yeah. But I think some people were implying like, I don't know, you would be really upset.
Well, I'm furious.
Yeah. I've been doing it all behind your back.
Let me take a moment to clear the air. Yes, I'm furious about this, but what am I going to do?
Right. You've tried to do a lot. You've unplugged my computer from the wall 3 times tonight, thinking that would somehow do it. You've said, "Oh yeah, well, I'd like to see you upload a new podcast without a computer," and you unplug it, thinking it's going to ruin. And it's a laptop. Tim has a battery,
and you're not even recording it.
No, and it's fine. It's saved on the hard drive.
Tom, seriously. I've listened to the show. It's great. I love it. And take this from a guy who is predisposed to disliking things.
Especially things of this topic.
Yeah. 2 things, Tom, I've had a spiritual awakening on. Unsolved mysteries and tales of the unknown. Yeah. Thanks to your show. Mm-hmm. And the music of No Doubt, thanks to the Coachella.
You've had an awakening that you don't like unsolved mysteries?
No, that I do like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's too late now. I already started another podcast because you didn't like it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Your show Tom.
Well, it's ironic. It's a real.
Take the goddamn compliment.
Thank you, but it sounds like.
I'm sorry I didn't talk about your other podcast for 10 minutes.
But then that makes it sound like a real O. Henry situation where it took me leaving to do another podcast for you to realize, you know what, I do like those topics.
No, all I'm saying, Tom. Mm-hmm. You don't have to make this a knock on me. What I'm saying is I listened to your podcast and I liked it.
Well, and all I'm trying to explain...
And I normally don't like that. Oh, God.
Well, and all I'm trying to explain to you is that a podcast has to be against someone, and this one's against you. They're all competitions.
You could have told me explicitly, like, oh, at the top, I'm going to plug this shit.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
I did. And then you said, all right, guy, talk about No Doubt for a minute. It's fine, Tim. We got rid of the Johnny Come Latelys. And I did. I'm not going to promote it every week. But if you want to hear it, want to hear something weird, I forgot the name of it. And it's where you get podcasts. I also saw people were... like some people said that they started listening and they were like, oh no, like Tom's going to be a serious guy in this. And then I don't know, 10 minutes into the first episode, I say something like very stupid. And they're like, oh, okay. Whew, never mind.
There were a couple points in it where like, I think you were trying to be serious. And you said something, and Laura was much more gentle than I would have been in correcting you.
Well, and that's why I'm marrying her instead of you, Tim.
Well...
that's at least one of the reasons. The biggest reason, you're already married.
Yeah.
You know, and that's illegal.
I'm not very pretty.
You're also not very pretty. I can say no offense to you, but I've not been very attracted to you lately. Sure, when you were younger, a hot young thing. Tim, this week we're talking, speaking of hot young things, hot new things.
What, water bottles?
Yeah, water bottles. Tim, we're talking water bottles. We're talking trends. We're talking exclusives.
Right. Okay. I've been wanting to do an episode on water bottles for years, Tom.
Is that true?
I've brought it up a couple times and you're like, that's stupid. But now there's a trend.
Yeah. And you know how I love trends. So
yeah. And from what I understand, it's been going on for a few weeks, if not months.
Yeah.
I learned about it today.
Yeah. It's one of those things, one of those internet things where it's like, you know, building. And then like all of a sudden when it like kind of breaks through to the mainstream, then it's like huge because it's already kind of been building momentum behind the scenes, I guess. I had been hearing, I mean, well, you're specifically talking about the Stanley tumblers, right?
Yeah.
Were you talking about water bottles as a whole being a trend?
No. Because like I heard rumblings about the Stanley Cup and I thought we were talking about hockey.
Yeah.
And then no, it's a brand of water bottles. Mm-hmm. And I looked them up and I was like, this must have all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
It's not, it's just a cup.
Yeah, it's not even a bottle, it's a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did some like, because that's the other thing. I feel like nowadays when things blow up, it's not necessarily because of one thing. You know, it's like kind of a perfect storm of things happening.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the case with this particular cup.
Well, people are talking about it now, right? Because like it's a New Year's resolution for people. Like, I want to drink more water.
Yeah.
Who are these psychopaths that just like are just like, I don't drink water.
Yeah.
I don't need.
Well,
I hate it. And I need to force myself or trick myself. And like, it's an accomplishment if I drink water. Just drink water. You need it to survive. Doesn't your body just like crave water all the time? Mine does.
Tim, it sounds like you belong on Water Talk. You know about Water Talk?
No.
You don't know about Water Talk?
Tom, I don't have TikTok.
Wow. Well, that's obvious.
I don't have TikTok, Tom.
Uh-huh.
And you're the reason I don't have TikTok.
Why is that?
Because I know I won't do anything else.
Yeah.
And I know you've told me like you know, you're like, oh, I'll open up TikTok after dinner and be like, oh, let me look. And then suddenly it's 3 a.m. and it's like, oh, I have to go to bed. That would happen to me all day, every day, Tom.
Yeah. I've been somewhat lucky, I guess, that for whatever reason, TikTok has not entered into like my habit of like apps to open. You know, when it's like, usually the way my brain works is like, there's something like low level that I should be doing right now, but it's not urgent. I kind of want to do it. So like, let me go ahead and open Instagram, and then let me open X, and then let me open Reddit.
First of all, you're calling it X?
It's not Twitter anymore. It's too shitty to still.
So get off of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't post really on there. I just look at it. And then I just mostly just get mad, which is, you know, just like it used
that's
to be.
all of it. Yeah. That's all of it. Yeah.
But like that rotation of like apps that I'll check when I'm on the toilet or whatever.
And you're on the toilet a lot.
Right. And that's what I was talking about when I said like there's like a low level priority, but it's not urgent. TikTok has never worked its way into that, thank God. Because anytime I do think, oh yeah, TikTok, and I go on TikTok, I either wind up like not seeing anything I like just because I'm like not in the mood for what it's showing me, and I'm just like, and I like bounce off pretty quickly, or I get sucked in. And then when you get sucked in, not only are you like wasting time, like burns through your battery like crazy, because I think every time you're watching a video, it's like loading the next 10 behind it so it can switch really quickly. I don't know.
You're always concerned with your phone battery life for a guy who doesn't leave his apartment.
Yeah. I got this iPhone 14 Pro, not last year's iPhone, the one before. I waited the longest I've ever waited, 4 years to get a new iPhone. And then I was like, all right, I waited 4 years. I'm going to get the nice Pro model. This phone, it's great except for the battery, and the battery sucks. It's worse than my old phone. So I'm always just like,
throw it out.
I've been thinking about just throwing it out.
Dump it. Smash
but anyway,
it.
We were talking about TikTok. There's this thing, Water Talk, because just, you know, there's like Book Talk and
that's where people TikTok about books.
Yeah, they TikTok about books. I don't know any of the other
They
talks.
do like a dance while holding a book.
I'm sure some people do, but I don't. I think in general, people just like talk about the books that they like or whatever.
Is there kissing talk?
There probably is.
Tips about kissing?
Yeah, probably. Well, you know about mewing?
What?
It's like you do a motion and it's supposed to like strengthen your chin.
Okay.
It's like incels are real into mewing.
For what reason?
To like look more like a Chad.
Oh, it like
chisels your jaw.
Oh, like it's the cure for a weak chin.
Yeah,
just grow a big beard like me.
I think it's basically just like you're putting your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And I think the idea that there's not scientific evidence for is that like, oh, if you do that enough, it like, you know, gets rid of like you know your jowls or whatever. But it's one of those things where it's like, no, it gets rid of them while you're doing that. But then once you stop doing that, it goes, you know, it'd be like saying, no, when you like just flex your arm and make a muscle, that's making muscles. It's like, no, it's not actually making muscles.
Find another path, jowly incels. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, grow a beard or go get one of these chin implants you can get nowadays.
That one guy got them, right?
The TikTok comedian Matt Rife,
the comedian that everybody's mad at. All
well,
the time.
people accuse him of having gotten chin implants because his chin just looks insane.
Tom,
and
you know too much gossip about stuff for a 42-year-old man. Like,
I would argue I know just the right amount.
You need to remove your finger
stuff.
from the pulse.
Tim, it's what keeps me young.
You should be like me. Just go on Apple Music and listen to some No Doubt albums from 1997. That's firmly where we are supposed to be.
Call it exposing yourself to new music.
Yep.
But anyway, one of the talks is water talk.
Right.
And it's just about drinking a lot of water, but a lot of it, you're going to hate this because I hate it. It's just that there are a lot of people that are on there that are like, all right, look, we all know water tastes disgusting. It tastes gross, but you have to drink it. So what can we do about that? And it's just about these like concoctions. I mean, they're calling this stuff water still, but it's like, no, you're mixing other powders or liquids into it.
Which is like probably fine.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But
depends, like if it's gasoline. No,
right.
Not fine.
But you're not like
how much gasoline could you drink before how many drops of gasoline can you put in 12 ounces of water before it starts to have an effect on you?
I mean, one drop would probably make somebody smell that water and go, "Oh, I don't want this."
Yeah,
water.
but if you put a drop and drank it, you'd be fine, right?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering where the point where you would throw up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Me too. Or where it's oh no, don't do that. Your small intestines will, I don't know.
Well, are you doing anything this weekend?
Should we test the limits of how much gasoline you can drink?
Yeah, I've got a big.
Cut it with a lot of water.
Yeah, we'll start slow. I'll walk down to the gas station with my thermos, fill it up with $1.27 worth of gasoline, and we'll get to the bottom of this. But yeah, so there are people that this is their whole thing of making water not only taste better, but also, there's a big one, aesthetically pleasing.
Oh yeah, we need everything we drink to be
to look cool.
Pretty.
So a lot of it is just, they're making drinks that look like, I don't know, something you would get at a Margaritaville of oh look, they made the bottom blue and the top red.
Right.
But it's I don't know, you're putting fucking Crystal Light in there. Okay. Oh, what a water hack. This shit's been around forever. But then some...
Yeah, somebody tell a mom in 1988 about this.
Yeah. But then some, it's people's hacks are putting Kool-Aid powder in. It's that's making Kool-Aid.
That's Kool-Aid talk, not water. Get that the fuck
that's
off
not
water talk.
And it's every drink, every single thing you drink has water in it. There's no... unless people start
water
drinking
talk
gasoline.
is full of charlatans, Tom.
It really is.
Fakers.
Drink talk is what they should call it, I think, maybe.
Liquid talk.
Or, hydration talk.
Gasoline talk, if you're going to make some of those gasoline cocktails we were talking about.
You know what, Tim? I think maybe that's the kind of, ever since that Tide Pod challenge thing happened, I think they're really on top of keeping an eye on people going on there, starting new accounts, saying things like, "Hey, TikTok, what's going on? Today I'm going to see how much gasoline I can drink."
It's not a challenge, it's a hack.
Oh, it's and what is the hack? In case you only have gasoline?
Yeah,
how can you cut it with water so you can drink it?
Yeah, and you can suggest. Can you post clips of movies?
I think it's
do people do that on TikTok?
It's like YouTube where I think you have to be careful.
Yeah, but just some Joaquin Phoenix shots from The Master when he's mixing up some of his cocktails from the
jet
ships.
Fuel or whatever that he was drinking. Yeah. All right. So wait, your channel just gonna be clips of The Master where the person who was very unwell mentally, everybody in that movie pretty much drinks jet fuel combined with you drinking water that's had some gasoline put in it.
Or maybe it's just me drinking straight water and setting water talk straight, being see, this is way better than drinking gasoline. All these people in this movie are all screwed up. And look at me, model man. Tom, let's get into it. So there's water talk.
Yeah.
But what are we talking about here? We're talking about the vessels that are going viral. The viral vessels.
Mm-hmm. The viral vessels that are very voluptuous. God, we only know sexy adjectives that start with V. Va-va-va-voom.
No, so there's the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, which is its official name is the 40-ounce Stanley Quencher H 2.0 Flow State Tumbler.
God, it's a cup.
It's a cup. It's a $45 cup, Tim. So
it's $45.
Yeah, it's $45. It's a little more than $1 an ounce you're paying for this.
Wow, but. So it's single serve. You're only allowed to use it one time.
No, Tim. That's the beauty of it. It's reusable.
Okay. Is it? Wait. It's an adventure quencher.
It could be if you're on adventures, but basically, there are only really 3 distinguishing things that I can tell about this that explain. Well, they don't explain why it went so viral, but I guess are like its unique selling propositions. One, the bottom of it is smaller, so it fits in a car
cup holder.
But they're not the first people to think of that.
Freaking Big Gulps has been doing that.
Yeah,
for
and
30
McDonald's
years.
big cups do that too.
Nice job. Nice try, Stanley.
Yeah. The second one is that it is a vacuum sealed deal that keeps your drinks hot and cold. And now this is legitimately something that the Stanley Corporation came out with like 110 years ago now.
Right.
That they like figured out how to do this with steel, which was like a big innovation at the time, and legitimately does keep your drinks either hot or cold because the walls of it are vacuum sealed. So basically like the heat it's only being heat or cold is only like getting in or out through the top.
Yeah. I don't think this is unique to Stanley.
No, but they
Isn't that like what thermoses are?
Yeah, but they came up with this idea a long time ago.
Tom, I wanted to promote your podcast, and all you want to do is promote Stanley and their innovation.
Now, to say that nobody else, they don't have a patent on any of this stuff anymore. To say nobody else could do this is not true, but like I get being like, no.
I feel like you fell victim to some Stanley press release.
No, I'm just saying this is what the elements of the cup that people are going gaga for.
Okay.
But then the third one, most important to many consumers, least important to any normal person, is that these cups now come in like a variety of colors.
Right.
And that's what's led to the viralness that people like to collect these colors. And then specifically one came out, it was a Target X Starbucks collab.
Oh, cool. It's all the coolest brands.
Exactly. Hottest brands. And it is a winter pink color. And now winter pink isn't a thing. It's just like a pink. It's a very, I bet
it's a very pale pink. It's a very pale pink.
It's a pretty vibrant pink. I'll give them that.
Voluptuous pink.
Yeah, it is a voluptuous pink. And so these things went on sale, and because they're a limited edition, people went crazy. So that's where there are videos of like people who camped out overnight at a Target.
At a Target to get a Target and Starbucks branded water cup.
Water cup. That
cool.
Mind you, like you can find these cups in other colors for the retail price
$45.
Yeah, pretty readily. It's not like, oh, they're all impossible to find. This just happened to be like a very desirable color.
You know what, Tom? People need things to do, I guess, right? This is the world that you want. This is the world that you created, right? Because you want technology to come in and make everything so frictionless. So, like, all you have to do is press a button, and anything you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to do anything yourself. And what are you going to do? How are you going to spend your time? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna get excited about a color of a water cup, and I got nothing to do. I'll just sleep outside a goddamn Target.
Yeah, and wait all day. And in fairness, like, I imagine a lot of the people in that line were resellers.
Okay,
they were there to flip them, which
right.
is like also
they're playing a game of flip cup, from what I understand.
Yeah. Which is also like a whole separate thing, but at least it's like, all right, I can like wrap my mind around somebody who's like, all right, I'm going to buy 6 of these cups for $300 and they are going on StockX.com for $300 right now.
Right.
So like, this is going to be a good way to make some quick money. Like, I get that more than I get like, I have a red one, but I want a pink one, so I'll sleep there. I'll sleep at a parking lot to get it.
Yeah, but like that's anything that's hyped, and we all are susceptible to hype.
Yeah.
I mean, not me personally. I'm above it.
Right. That's why you're just getting into No Doubt now. You have to wait for the hype to die down completely.
Yeah, I didn't buy the hype when I was gonna go in 1997. Pay $18 for Tragic Kingdom.
No, thanks.
No, guess what? Yesterday I listened to it for free all day.
Yeah, well, can't argue with that.
So,
but yeah, that's well, what were you saying about hype?
I think we can't fault people, Gen Zers like myself. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like, we've set society up right now in this country.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? Like, how is that a worse use of time than anything else that, like, any other recreational activity that anybody, like,
yeah,
we don't spend our time on important things.
Yeah.
So like to laugh at somebody who wants something because it was hyped, like, you've wanted stuff because they were hyped.
Yeah.
You've gotten you like were excited about a marginally upgraded phone at one point. Mm-hmm. You talked to me about like colors of computers, like when I was like, I'm gonna get a new a MacBook, you were just like, oh, the space gray or whatever, like the blue one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were talking about that one. You're like, but the fingerprints, but here's how you mitigate that. But
that's like, a little different.
It's not different.
It's a little different. I mean, it's
did you or did you not?
Mm-hmm.
Did we not have a 10-minute conversation about what color computer I should buy?
Well, first off, you asked me, like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this. What should I do?
Yeah, and you had opinions.
And I
had
said
strong opinions.
And I made you agree that conversation would stay off the record. And you violated that trust. So I'll never speak to you off the record again. No, but I also think it was like, oh, you're going to buy like a new, like, laptop that costs more than $1,000. Mm-hmm. You want it to be as good as possible, and you don't want any like gotchas.
But like aesthetically.
Yeah. But I also think that's not, I wasn't making a big deal about that. If you were like, nah, I really want this color, I would be like, all right. If you had that computer and then tomorrow they came out with a green one and you were like, oh, I have this one, but I want the green one now, then that would be crazy.
Right.
And I think that's what's going on with this. And I know that that's also like a big, like I read this dumb article that was basically arguing that like actually these cups aren't that environmentally friendly even though they're reusable, and their argument was because people are buying multiple ones, and it's like, well, yeah, but those people are maniacs,
right?
And they had pictures from like TikToks where people literally have like shelves built into their walls with like 100 different colors of these mugs. It's like, well, that person should be in jail. And not even for that, just like that should be enough to like get a warrant and search their house,
to really dig into their digital life.
Yeah,
like there's something.
What are they up to? Where'd they get like thousands of dollars to just buy different mugs that they put on the wall?
Again, Tom, what should people be spending their disposable income on?
Funko Pops.
Funko Pops.
They look
right.
cool.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, what should they be? Hopefully something nicer. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum. If you really like it, if this brings you an immense amount of joy, but I don't think but the problem nowadays is like so much of the hype cycles is FOMO.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Hype is, though. That's what it's always been. That's why there's artificial scarcity whenever they come out with like a hot new product.
Yeah. I don't know if there even is.
Because that's to get you to be like, well, I gotta make the decision. Like, I gotta be motivated to get it. If it's like, I'll get it when I get it.
Can we talk a little bit more about the history of mugs?
Yeah, of course, Tom.
Well, the history of these, because, well, I told you they're like, 110 years old. The basic idea. Well, the basic idea, I have one. You've probably seen it. I have one of those.
Wait,
like
the Stanley?
No, I have a Stanley like coffee thermos.
Ah.
The type with the part you twist off the top, and then that's the cup, and then you pour the thermos in. Yeah. I have one of those that I've had for years.
You have a lot of camping gear for a guy that rarely goes camping.
Oh, absolutely. But this was actually not bought as a camping thing. This I did use for a while when I was
drinking coffee on the subway. I made this at home.
No, when I had desk space in Manhattan and I would go work in there, I would bring that sometimes because there would be some days where I was like I know I'm going to want a lot of coffee and I don't want to go to Starbucks or Dunkin' or whatever. Like, that's unnecessary. I have coffee here. I have good coffee that I like. I just need something. I bought this thing. It was $30 and like pretty big and holds and I was like, oh, cool. And then I have like my cup and then the whole thing just goes in my bag. Great. And that's like where this whole thing started. Because that was the guy Stanley, I think his name was. Okay. He wanted to keep his coffee warm all day, and apparently they had vacuum sealed glass, thermos type things back then, but they were glass. So if you dropped it, it broke, and they cost the equivalent of $150 to $200 in today's money. So it makes these Stanley quencher tumblers look like a real bargain.
Yeah.
But the original Stanley vacuum seal things had his key innovation, which was Charvac. When charcoal dust was placed between two stainless steel walls while the vacuum insulation was created.
Engineering podcast now? What are we doing?
Yeah. They put charcoal dust in there.
Start an engineering podcast with your fiance.
But then they discontinued that. Well, I'm getting to something mildly interesting, which is in 2009, they discontinued it, opting instead to thicken the outer steel wall. So they just, and even by doing that, you would think, thickening the steel wall would make it heavier. No, it made it lighter, just getting the charcoal out. But when I bought my Stanley coffee thing, there were a lot of reviews that were like, this is they started making these in China. They changed the design. It's nothing like they used to be. It's garbage. And I got it's pretty, I like it, but I get reading the critiques. I'm like, okay, this part that's plastic used to be metal. I could see that would have been better. But I'm just thinking, like, who knows what Tumblr could have happened earlier if Dr. Stanley here had gotten his mitts on everything.
Yeah, agreed. Tom, I haven't seen people go over Gaga over something from Stanley since Stanley's Mask. And by that Stanley, I mean Stanley Ipkiss.
From the Jim Carrey movie, The Mask?
Yeah.
Okay. I almost called him Jim Ventura, like a fucking...
Jim Ventura?
Because he's Ace Ventura.
Oh, my God.
Which
Jesus.
sounds like something your grandpa would tell you. Yeah, you gotta go see one of those new Jim Ventura movies. Yeah, somebody get out of here. But all right, there's a little more to why all this stuff went viral. One of the other reasons is that there was a TikTok user, Danny Marie Lettering. Her car caught on fire. Did you see this? You see this? You hear about this?
Tom, I'm not on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I'd be watching car on fire videos all day, every day.
Well, this was the aftermath.
The algorithm would probably reveal things about myself that I wouldn't want to admit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I guess I do want to watch more cars be on fire.
Yeah, I think for a while it was like showing me a lot of fireworks videos.
Yeah.
But basically this woman, she didn't mean for this to necessarily go viral. She was just shooting a video of like, yeah, my car caught on fire, and look, now it's just like a burnt out husk. But like, oh, look at this. Like, my Stanley tumbler is fine in here. And she shakes it and she's like, there's still ice. You can like hear the ice. Meanwhile, the car is a fucking black, burnt out.
Hey, why don't they make the whole car out of the Stanley tumbler?
I don't think they have that ability. I don't think that's an option. But maybe
that's what the aerodynamics guys at Boeing said about the black box.
Yeah. That's what they said?
Yeah, when people were like,
it wasn't just comedians?
Why make the whole plane out of the black box? They're just like, we can't.
Yeah,
of course we would.
Yeah.
But the black box is specifically formulated to withstand this.
It's a small thing. We can make that very. Yeah, if we make the plane safer by making it 10 times heavier than it is. But
you ever watch like an 80s Seinfeld stand-up routine when you're in a bad mood, or like
that's very specific. No,
when you're like not willing to give Jerry Seinfeld the benefit of the doubt, and you're just like, I reject this premise.
Wow, no,
why don't they make the whole plane out of the black box? You want to know why? Because you can't fly. You can't make it that big. There's no air in there. You wouldn't be able to have windows.
Yeah.
The pilots have to see out the windows. That's why they don't make the plane out.
You should definitely not download TikTok if this kind of stuff. You ever watch a Jerry Seinfeld in a bad mood? You ever decide you're going to have an old bad faith watch of an old Jerry Seinfeld?
No, his premises are bad faith.
Well, all right.
No, we're all and then relax. It's only a joke. I won't relax.
But anyway, this woman showed this off, which honestly, like, I kind of call bullshit. Just because the top of these things are plastic. I would think that would melt, but whatever. Regardless.
Calling Danny California a liar?
Stanley was so happy about it. His great grandson or whatever, who's running the company now, he gave her a new car. They replaced her car for her, and they gave her a new mug. But that like really caused it to then like, blow up, because now it's like, I need that. It's indestructible. What if my car catches on fire and I have a valuable drink in there that I need to keep cold?
Right.
But I will say too, I feel like this has kind of flown under the radar. In 2020, entrepreneur Terrence Riley had just finished a 7-year stint at Crocs, where he led the strategy that turned the ugly shoe into a fashion staple. Now the president of Stanley.
Wait, where's this article?
Oh, this is from, I think this was from today.com, the Today Show, maybe.
Okay, so they're just throwing in the editorial, like, we all know Crocs are ugly, but we all wear them.
But he became the president of Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's like, oh, so they got somebody that like understood the internet and marketing.
Yeah, and knew how to
manipulate,
stage a TikTok video with a nobody to make it look like.
Well, I don't know if he staged it, but I think was smart enough to be like,
the Crocs guy staged it.
Was smart enough to be like, we have to get this woman a new car, and that will keep this in the news cycle like another few days. That's going to be the cheapest, like $30,000 ad, free ads, you know, what do they call that? Earned media from like, when like the news is just going to cover it. Like they just had somebody smart enough at the wheel to know like, oh, that's a valuable thing.
Right.
They didn't.
You think the Crocs guy personally was like, buy that woman a car?
Probably. I mean, I don't think they're like, because the other thing.
They had to approve it.
Yeah. Because the other thing is, when these mugs started blowing up, it was because there was a website. Oh, why do I not have the name of the website? It was like buy stuff online or something. Some like very
cool.
generic thing. But they had like an Instagram account, and it was basically just a like, hey, here's like, it sounded kind of like the wire cutter, but not that like in depth, just like surfacing good products type thing. And they were so adamant that this was like a good product that they bought like 5,000 of them wholesale from Stanley and sold them themselves on their website. And even I think they did it like twice where they sold out within like a few days, but even still the Stanley Corporation was like,
like skeptical.
Yeah. Like skeptical of like, like making more of these and like opening into like a formal, like distribution partnership with them. So it sounds like a few years ago, basically Stanley got some new blood in there who was like, no, these are the kinds of things that are good that you want to hop on top of. And now they're riding that all the way to the bank, Tim. I was also watching a TikTok from a woman. This is like a dumb.
We should buy things wholesale and sell them through the podcast.
Well, they had to like get a warehouse and like.
You can do that.
Where?
We're surrounded by warehouses.
What kind of stuff are we gonna sell?
I don't know. Honking on Bobo CDs, harmonicas. Oh, a bundle.
Ooh.
A honking on Bobo bundle.
Honk on your own Bobo.
Well, yeah, Tom. I looked it up. Urban Dictionary. Honking on Bobo. Perform fellatio.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
So it is something.
Yeah.
You got so mad at me for saying that it was jerking off.
No, I just didn't want you to use bad language in the first 5 minutes.
Why, you afraid Stanley's not going to come along?
No, my parents listen to it to make sure that we're being good boys.
I tell my mom, just listen to the last 5 minutes. Just the plugs.
Just listen to me talk about my other podcast.
But anyway, there was this other like TikTok thing that kind of went viral because it was like a dumb thing where it's just this mom who was talking about how she bought her kid like a $10 Walmart tumbler for Christmas and like other girls made fun of her because it wasn't like a real one. And she was like,
but Tom, I've heard you talk shit about people with Android phones.
Yeah, but I don't.
And you're just like, what are these idiots?
But
like,
why
don't they just buy them?
I don't make podcast. I don't. Well, I guess I do make podcast TikToks about it.
Have you ever posted on TikTok?
Yes, just for my books. And I don't think I've ever posted my face, so people don't know what I look like. But anyway, it's just this woman. And it was just like one of these, like, why are you even making this video? Where it's like, yeah, kids pick on each other.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I got a, what was it? I think it was a San Jose Sharks jacket that was not a starter jacket when we were kids, and I was made fun of because it wasn't a starter jacket.
Yep. And I had a San Jose Sharks jacket as well.
Well, we were both big San Jose Sharks
I had
fans,
the starter jacket, but
wow.
I had a Scottie Pippen jersey that was not the official like NBA jersey. It was like a mock-up from Sports Shack in town.
And you got made fun of for
it.
Yeah, it's like that's the way.
But my parents were like, you don't even really like sports.
Right.
We're going to spend $23 on it instead of $95.
Yeah, exactly. Which I totally get. And this, I don't know. That's why I found this video stupid, because she was like, look, if we found out our daughter was doing that, we would call these other girls' parents. We would make our daughter write an apology note. I'm like, no, you fucking wouldn't. First off, you wouldn't find out about it. You wouldn't find out your daughter was teasing somebody else.
Yeah, the kids don't come home and it's like, hey, we really ripped this poor girl a new asshole today.
Yeah, if anything, it's going to be like, Samantha had a new mug and it wasn't the right one. If the parent's like, and you didn't make fun of her for that, did you? No. And that would be the end of the conversation.
Can't do anything about that, yeah.
So basically, this woman was like, we all need to talk to our kids and tell them not to do that. But then she's talking about how because her kid was upset, like they went and got her a real one. And it's like, well, you didn't teach your kid a lesson there either. I get it. I totally get it. I'm not being like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I would do that, but I wouldn't make a fucking TikTok about it being like, here's the right way to parent.
Yeah.
I'll tell everybody what we would have done, and then I'll just give in. Like, if you really want your kid to tell all the other kids to go fuck themselves, because guess what? These mugs are being made by slaves in the same factory anyway.
So what's the appeal? You can hold a whole day's worth of water in there?
I don't even know if that's considered a whole day's worth. I mean, I guess it's just
for
like
these
a lot.
water talk people who like every sip makes them gag. 40 ounces seems like all right.
Yeah.
Yo, you could put a whole 40 in there, Tom.
You could put a whole 40. Yeah, it's also crazy because then I see people put like a lot of ice in it, and it's like, isn't the whole fucking point that you don't need a lot of ice?
Well, to make it initially cold.
Yeah, but you could probably put one ice cube in there, and that ice cube's just never going to melt. It's going to make the whole thing cold.
I don't think you know how anything works.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is the appeal, that like 40 ounces, you could fill it with ice and fill it with whatever.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, because I think that's the thing too. People like having a lot of ice. I think because of places
people
like
are so
Starbucks,
weird.
You know, like you order an ice drink from Starbucks and it's going to be, they're going to fill a cup with ice. They have like little markers for where to fill the cup with ice. And like, look, I'm not going to lie. It's nice sometimes having just like a big drink with lots of ice, you know?
Nah, I don't
you don't like
ice.
that?
No. I like a reasonable amount of ice or no ice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't drink water.
I drink
I find it disgusting.
No, I drink I drink coffee and water.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Well, and beers
beer
right
here. Now, yeah.
Tom, you know, this is the only time I drink beers or alcohol in your home.
Tell it to St. Peter.
Peer pressure.
See if that gets you into heaven.
Peer
pressure. Yeah. And then the only other thing I have to talk about, Tim, is other water bottles besides the Stanley Cup. The big ones, hydro flasks.
Hydro flasks?
Yeah.
What about whatever happened to Nalgene, huh?
Nalgene's still out there.
Yeah.
Well, but Nalgene's aren't insulated, but they're tough as steel. Tougher than steel.
Like, why does everybody need if water doesn't need to be so cold all the time? Maybe that's everybody's problem.
Yeah, the water's too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing in Asian cultures. The specifically China, I've heard that a lot of people think cold water is bad for you. Like you should be drinking like room temperature water.
Well, certainly with a meal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because cold water will affect digestion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it kind of.
But like, does it really? Or is it like.
I mean, I think so. I read it somewhere once, I think like 15 years ago.
Oh, so it must be true.
Yeah.
Hydro Flask, the Yeti.
The Yeti. See, the Yeti was a big deal a while ago. Yeah.
And then the Swell. And I know we've both had Swell water bottles.
Yeah. I am a clean canteen man.
Now, what's the appeal there?
I don't know. It's aluminum, I believe, or stainless steel. I don't know. It's one of them.
Yeah, metal.
It's metal. And the cap screws on really tight, so you can throw it in a bag.
Okay.
The TSA threw mine away one time.
The TSA took my baby away.
Yeah. I mean, I tweeted the TSA threw my water bottle away at the time.
Okay. And did they fave it? They give it a little like...
No, but some mildly famous people did.
Wow, okay.
No, I mean, it got retweeted by somebody.
Wow.
It's not even somebody mildly famous. But I got through the security line. You were there.
Oh, Jesus
It was
Christ.
long. And it was like a quarter of the way full. I forgot to...
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like, oh, you left water in there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, can I chug it? Can we dump it out?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, we can't dump it out.
Well,
you can
how
bring
am I
it
going
out
to
there.
blow up the plane then?
Yeah, and they're like, you can go out to the back of the line,
Yeah.
or we can throw it away. It's like, throw it away, you freaking loser.
And was he like, I'm going to keep it?
He did say that. He was a mean lady, actually.
I think I left my HeadGum Swell water bottle in Scotland when we were over there once. But HeadGum has a great warranty where if you have a podcast on their network and you
told them?
Yeah. And they sent me another one.
You love free stuff so much.
I love that water bottle. It's my favorite water bottle.
My wife uses the HeadGum water bottle.
Yeah, it's a great water bottle.
I'm a clean canteen man. She's a HeadGum lady.
Yeah. Well, and it's like an official Swell water bottle.
Yeah, okay.
Because I have like the knockoffs, and let me tell you, they're just as good.
Hard to get
and the caps work.
Big ice cubes in there, though.
Yeah, I got a ice cube tray that makes skinny ice, and you can just put the ice cubes in there, and that works pretty well.
Yeah, I'm rarely on the go these days. I don't often have a water bottle with me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about these like vacuum sealed water bottles, that anytime I do take them somewhere, like I like to take them on vacation, you know, because like that's always a situation where like you're not necessarily drinking as much water. Like I remember when I was in Mexico City, like a year ago, a little more than a year ago, I took my water bottle with me everywhere because the water there you have to be careful about drink. You have to buy bottled water if you're going to drink it. So I would like buy bottled water and like fill up that thing with it. But the nice thing about it was like I didn't have to put ice in it. It would stay cold enough,
right?
For 6 hours or whatever while I was out.
I think for city folk like us, the form factor of this Stanley, like it's not it's got a big handle on it and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not conducive to my on-the-go lifestyle.
Yeah, and a skinny bottom, if anything, like I'm knocking shit off my desk all the time. I need a nice wide base.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it definitely is like suburban mom, like spends a lot of time, like in the car going around places and stuff. That's like the prime market, I think.
Yeah. And the colors.
And
we
the
love
colors.
the colors.
I mean, the thing is, I looked on Amazon at like what they had, and there were some colors. I was like, it's pretty good. Yeah, all right. Well, but then this one,
Tom,
I'll just buy all three.
Yeah, you pretend like you're not swayed by marketing and hype. But like, you are more than most people.
I am, but only... I have like a bad thing, I think, where it's like I'm only swayed by certain types of marketing.
Yeah, I mean that's everybody, though.
Yeah, but then that like somehow makes
and we're also
other
judgmental.
marketing like more obvious to me in a way.
Yeah. No, I think that's the case with all. Like, I think that's everybody. Like you with like electronics and like minuscule differences between stuff that is also like marketing hype. Me with being like, no, actually, a vinyl sounds a lot warmer than streaming through. Like,
I had to wait 30 years from them to remix those No Doubt albums the right way.
So, like, and we're all just sniping at each other, and that's what they want, Tom.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. You can find all our social media links, our subreddit, our Discord.
Nobody took me up last week on picking a fight with me by adding me at Discord.
I saw somebody mention it, but
somebody
didn't
mentioned
add you.
it, but they had nothing. I guess everything I say is flawless. Everybody's like, I agree.
You can
guy makes some good points.
You can follow me on social media at Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at your pal Tim.
I don't think I'm at Tom Reynolds on TikTok.
Huh.
I think I might be the Tom Reynolds on TikTok.
The
the Tom Reynolds.
D-list version of yourself.
And you can check out our patreon.com/complete guide. This month we're reading Life as I Have Known It Has Been Finger Licking Good by Colonel Harlan Sanders. The life and times of the guy who created Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, it's Books of the Podcast is the podcast.
Yes, that's what I meant to say.
On Patreon. We read a book all the time. It's a full-length book.
We read a book all the time.
That's a good sell, right? It's a full hour podcast every week.
It's twice the length of my other podcast.
Oh, yeah, your other podcast is short.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, right?
Because I don't like the show and it's over quicker. Just kidding. No, I like that it's
tight.
It's tight.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't get off on tangents like me and you do.
All kidding aside.
This was supposed to be about all of water.
No, we're just titling
it. It's going to be the Stanley Cup.
But Tom, I will say, now that nobody's listening anymore, I did really like the episode that I heard, the first episode.
Yes.
Of Want to Hear Something Weird.
Well, you're not coming
and
on.
The point I was trying to make was those aren't topics that I'm usually interested in.
Yes.
And this show made it entertaining. And then you yelled at me being like, well, you missed the boat, asshole. Because now I'm talking about him with somebody else. And I was just trying to say, no, the way the two of you talk about it. Laura is a fantastic co-host.
Yes. Yeah.
I think she should be in the driver's seat, Tom. Should I give you notes now or afterwards?
You can do it afterwards. Yeah, she's got the sturdier hand, the steadier hand.
I like that you're like, yeah, we don't go off on tangents. Where like it's very clear multiple times in the show. It's just like Laura steering you back. Yeah. It's like you're trying to go off on tangents, or you don't know how to not go off on tangents.
I was telling you before the show that like I think it might have been the first time we recorded that we had to like stop and restart because she was like, Jesus Christ, like I forgot, I like hear you on the podcast, I know you're like this, but like I've never had it directed at me. And it's a lot. So anybody,
not so easy, is it, Laura?
Yeah. So I've seen other people who have been worried, like, oh, is Tom like a different guy on this show? Nah. Same old. Just a little spookier.
Yeah.
If you can even imagine it.
I like that. It's not like you guys are trying to be like, ooh, shouldn't you be scared? You're two normal people talking about not normal things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that's becoming like a lot more mainstream, and like there are tons of great paranormal podcasts out there. But yeah, there are a lot where it's like, my name is Professor J.W. Hinsbury. I've been studying paranormal phenomena for 30 years, and
it's like, why don't you go crawl into a grave?
Yeah, why don't you go crawl into a grave? Let a couple of people who just think it's fun talk about it. Yeah.
Want to hear something weird?
No, I don't. We should wrap up the show.
See you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.